Hi, I'm Coach Red, and in this video, we're going to be talking about raising difficult children. You get to define what difficult children is. But I'm going to give you some concrete tips on what that looks like, how to deal with them emotionally, with consequences. So hold on to your hats. It's going to be a really great video. If you like this video, please select the like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification button so that you will never miss a video when I post it, which is going to be a lot more regularly than I have in the past. So let's get down to it. Raising difficult children. All behavior is a person trying to communicate. This is true for everybody of all ages. Teenagers, children, adults. We all have tantrums, and some of us have them when we haven't eaten, so they're hangry. That's still communication. But how do we handle it? So let me give you some helpful tips for parents. Understand the cause of the behavior. Children don't misbehave just because they want to be difficult. So if you can think that way when your teenager is being rude or saying something or doing something that is just annoying you, think about what is it they're trying to say. Do you need to give them attention? Are they having a difficult time? Did they just get into a fight with their friend? Are they feeling emotional for other reasons? Understand the cause of their behavior. Step outside of the behavior and think for a minute. Set very clear boundaries. How you will be treated and how you won't be treated. So if they're being rude because they're just being difficult because they've got something going on, set very clear boundaries about what you will accept and what you won't accept. Stay calm. Don't get angry like they are, because that just escalates the whole thing and that doesn't help anybody. Make sure that your teenager or your child feels heard. So maybe repeat what they say after they've said it. Like, I can tell that you're angry, or I can see that you're upset. Make sure they know that what they're saying is heard. Don't interrupt them when they talk. Reward good behavior when possible. So keep your eye out for even the smallest thing that they do good and make sure you point that out. And as an aside, when you're criticizing them for something, which I know as parents we do really, really well, when you criticize them, attach it onto something that they've also done good, so they don't always feel like they're being criticized and attacked. Take the time to explain something in terms that they will understand. So those are concrete tips that you can do when you have a difficult child. Something that you can do from a parenting perspective is read up on the temperament and birth order of a child, because that really will help you to clarify and understand exactly who your child is and how they work and how they function. Birth order really does make a difference. Think about maybe in your own family of origin, if you're the oldest or you're the youngest or you're the middle child, how did you feel? It's really true. So apply that same birth order information to your child yourself. Always focus on the positive and let your child know it. Nobody wants to constantly have doom, doom, doom and negativity. So try to focus on the positive yourself so that you're teaching your children how to do it. With children 3 years old or older, try role playing. So when they're doing something, saying something, you mimic that in a respectful way so that they know you know what they're doing and what they're saying, and maybe there's another way to do it and you can role play. Like, okay, now let's switch with mommy, or let's switch with daddy. Give limited time and age-appropriate choices. Limited age-appropriate choices. Plan ahead when you know a situation's going to be difficult. So for younger kids, if they don't like being in the car or they like being in the car, plan ahead, let them know that you're going to be in the car. For older kids, if you know that you're going somewhere and they're not going to be happy. Tell them in advance, discuss it with them, what they're not going to be happy with, what you can do to compensate for the fact that they're not going to be happy. You know, just kind of talk it through with them. Give it time for them to sink in that you're going to be moving, they're going to be changing schools. Give it time and keep routines predictable. When you have a child who's difficult, predictability and planning are probably two of the most important things that you need to know. What do you do if your child is emotionally difficult? They're just very easy to cry or easy to scream and yell. Teach your children about the emotions. Name the emotions. Oh, I can see that you're afraid. I can see that you're scared. I can see that you're really angry. I can see that you're frustrated. Name them so they know that you can see what's going on. Explain these feelings and behaviors. Maybe ask them, where are you feeling it? Are you feeling it in your stomach? Are you feeling it in your throat? Do you feel like all of your muscles are tensing up? Start to talk about feelings in physicality and in concrete descriptions. Validate their feelings. Validate their feelings. Show acceptance. Just because you don't like the way they're acting angry, accept that they're angry and accept that, yeah, that would make me angry too. Like, do you want to talk about it when you're feeling better? Teach emotional regulation. So that's a whole nother video on itself. But emotional regulation is when you teach your children healthy ways of showing emotions and unhealthy way of showing emotions. You don't want them to do that. You don't want them to attack people, yell at people, destroy somebody's possessions. But when you're angry, you can yell, you can bang a pillow, you can take a walk, go for a run. So you just teach them ways of regulating their emotions so they're not out of hand. Avoid reinforcing the outbursts. If they're yelling and cursing and that sort of thing, make sure they know that you don't get to be around them during that time. Don't encourage them to be have complete 0 to 1,000 outbursts. And know when to seek help and when to send them for help. What if your kid doesn't care? What if your kid, no matter what you do, they don't care? Well, you have to use consequences that have meaning and are related to the infraction. And let them know that this is the consequence for what they've just done. And if they're like, I don't care, then the next time they do it, they get the same consequence. And it's like, it's unfortunate that you keep choosing to have that consequence. And that's how you eventually break that, because eventually, it could be the 10th time, they're not going to be happy getting that consequence and they're just going to give up. Use few words, not speeches. So if you have a teenager who has agreed, you have an agreement, they're going to clean up their room once a month, and they haven't done it. And there's food, rotting food, smelly clothes, they have no clean clothes to wear. Clean room. Not, you haven't cleaned your room and you're not going to be able to go anywhere and I'm going to ground you and I'm going to take all of your electronics away and I've told you 600 times. None of that. Clean room. And you will stand at their door until they do something about it. Clean room. This is a simplified version of how to handle that particular problem. Make consequences black and white. If you do this, this happens. And sometimes they're just going to be natural consequences. If you don't do your homework, you will get an F. You don't have to punish them more. They didn't do their homework. They got an F. They get to suffer the consequences of that. So black and white, not you're going to go in your room and don't come out till I say so. Like, that's just not concrete. So keep that in mind. Talk to your child about effective problem solving. Problem solving skills. That's the whole reason we give them consequences in the first place. So help them problem solve rather than just get angry and blow up and yell at everybody and throw things. Don't get sucked into their argument over the consequence. Consequences are the way they are. They happen in real life. Everything that we do with our children is only to teach them about real life. So if they're gonna have this consequence, you're not gonna say over and over again, well, I am giving you this consequence. No. Again, it's unfortunate that you keep choosing to do behaviors that cause that consequence, but you're just gonna get it more often. If you ground them, this is important. Give them something to do that teaches them the correct behavior. If you ground them and you just say, okay, you're grounded for 30 days, all they learn is to do time. Time will pass, they'll get their electronics back, they'll get to go to their friends back, and they won't learn. So make the time that they're grounded meaningful by having them do an activity where they learn the skill that you need them to learn that got them in trouble in the first place. All punishment and consequences are there so that your children will learn different behavior. Even if he says he doesn't care, if you are consistent in teaching the new behavior, he will eventually do differently. I'm going to repeat that, and this time with a different gender. Even if your child doesn't care, if you are consistent in teaching the new behavior, she will eventually do something different. Thank you for watching. You can always check me out at CoachRed1.com for lots of blog posts and videos and other important information that you can use as a parent or in life. Please subscribe and click the notification button so that you never miss a video from Coach Red.